Hey guys, Panzer J back here in Operation Big Red 1. Turned 12.8 KMT, 12.9 United States, January of 42. I'm going to go ahead with my turn. I did send Hambone a message. He's got a decision to make in the Mediterranean, but I think I know what he would do, so I'm just going to go ahead. It's been a long day, and I'm not going to be able to get to my turn the rest of today if I don't do it now. So I'm just going to go ahead with the turn. If I've guessed wrong as far as what he wants to do, then I guess we can just PBE it. Okay, the KMT has $1 to spend. Not going to spend it, clearly. Okay, they do have one attack, so they're going into Hunan. So the Japanese got 2 infantry, so they'll defend at 2 fours, and we're bringing the whole army over from Kui Chau. So that consists of 6 artillery, I think it was 15 infantry, 1 mountain, and 3 cavalry. The 2 militia that are there in Kui Chau are going to stay behind, obviously. They have to. Okay, it looks like we're crossing a river, but our 6 first strike artilleries aren't affected by it, so that's going to be 6 threes. So let's go ahead and roll that. See what we get. So we get 2 2s, an 8, a 10, a 10, and a 9. So we did get our 2 hits with first strike, so we take Hunan, but we got to go ahead and roll for our retreating units. That wonderful KMT rule. Okay, let's double check. I think it was 15 infantry, but let's see. So there's 5. There's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, yeah, 15. Okay, so the artillery all go into Hunan, and we take it on first strikes. The mountain doesn't retreat, but we got 15 infantry and 3 cavalry. So 10 or higher, we retreat. So how about the 3 cavalry first? 6, 9, and 4, so the 3 of them make it. And then we got 15 infantry. So the first 5, 2 8s, a 2, a 1, and 11, so there's 1. How about the next 5? 5, 7, 4, 3, and 2, so none of them retreat. And the last 5. 10, 2, 7, 2, and 8. So 1 more. So 2 retreat. So 2 of our infantry retreat back to Kui Chau. And the other 13 make it. Okay, so in Hunan, we take Hunan with 13 infantry, 6 artillery, 3 cavalry, 1 mountain. So that's worth $2. So let's go ahead. Japan goes from 55 to 53. And then the KMT goes up from 1 to 3. Okay, so we don't have any units to place. Collect income, we saved $1 and we collect 3, so we'll have 4 next turn. Unit disposition, just 2 territories changed. So in Kui Chau, we have 2 infantry, 2 militia. And in Hunan, we have 13 infantry, 3 cavalry, 1 mountain, and 6 artillery. Okay, let's do the U.S. portion of the turn. We have $76 to spend, but we do have some of our purchases are going to be dependent on tech. So we're going to try for radar, 7 or higher, improved factory, 7 or higher, amphib doctrine, 7 or higher, advanced subs, 8 or higher, heavy armor, 8 or higher, and large ship, 8 or higher. Okay, so let's go ahead. First, we have radar to 7. A 12, we succeed. Factories at a 7. A 10, we succeed. Amphib doctrine. A 2, we miss. Subs at an 8. 4, we miss. Armor at an 8. A 9, we succeed. And large ship. Of course, we missed the 2 we wanted the most. How wonderful. Okay, so radar, factories, and armor. Great. Factories, armor, and what was the other one? Radar. Oh, that sucked. Okay, so now this turn could go to crap real quick. Okay, so now we got to change our buy around too. Okay, so $76 to spend. We're doing, well, let's see. We got 6 destroyers down at 6 apiece. That's 36. We got 3 heavy battleships starting at 6 apiece. That's 18. 36, 46, that's 54. We've got a jet for 12, 54, that's 66. And then we got a Lend-Lease fighter, the British, for 10. That really sucks, not hitting large ship. Yeah, we're just going to go with that. I wanted to move up that fleet carrier, but nothing I can do. So again, we got 6, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 destroyers at 6 is 36. 3 heavy battleships at 6 is 18. That's 54. A jet for 12 is 66. And Lend-Lease the British a fighter for 10. That's 76. Okay. For combat, over here in the Atlantic, so we got a fleet here in A35. So we're going to come down 1, 2 into M2 and amphibiously assault Sardinia. So the screening force is a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and 2 destroyers. And then the amphibiously assaulting units are going to be my 4 naval transports here in A35 are picking up 6 infantry and 2 artillery from Portugal. And dropping those units off along with 2 jets from Portugal are going to go 1, 2, 3 with a movement of 2 left. The fleet carrier comes over 1, 2. The 2 tacticals go 3 into Sardinia. And then we also have our heavy strat bomber from Portugal, 1, 2, 3. It's going to carpet bomb. So the decision Hambone had to make is, does he want to scramble the 2 fighters against my screening force? I don't think he would do that. He'd have 2 6s against a 6, a 5, and 2 4s. So I'm going to assume he declines to scramble and instead is just going to use the 2 fighters to defend Sardinia. So that's battle number 1. And I think we only have one other battle, I think. So over here in the Pacific are 2 coastal subs here in P48, P18 are going to come over 1 to P16 and convoy the Japanese there. I don't think the Japanese don't have radar or anything, so I think I'm a +1 to the convoy with those 2 coastal subs. And I think those are the only 2 combats. Nothing else in the Pacific, and nothing else here in the Atlantic, I do not believe. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's do, we'll do the convoy rating first. So the U.S. is this bluish red die, mostly blue, and the Japanese are the solid red. Okay, so the first coastal sub, we get a +1. 5 to 4, nothing. The second one, 6 to 3, +1, 7 to 3. So I think we do 4 damage. So I believe we take $4 off the Japanese. Okay, so now the amphib battle. So a couple things. So first of all, I didn't end up hitting amphib doctrine, so now I'm going to suffer double casualties on this first round of combat. But Hambone's 2 fighters have air superiority on this first round of combat, so I've got to take aircraft if either of his fighters hit. If the militia or the mountain hit, then it's going to be double casualties on my infantry. Okay, so let's go ahead. So we have no first strikes. So I've got 2 jets at 8. 2 sevens. So he has to lose his 2 fighters here on the first round. Then I've got 2 tacticals at 7s. 12 and a 5, so 1 more hit. So there goes his militia. So he's down to his mountain infantry. So that is mountainous. So my 6 infantry on round 1 are going to be 1s. So we got 6 1s. And nothing. 2 12s, a 10, 3, 4, and 6. And then I've got the heavy strat bomber. So this has 5 rolls at a 2. Mountains don't affect it. So 5 2s. And there's a 2. A 2, 3, 8, 9, and a 6. So there's our last hit. So we do take everything on this first round. Now let's see how badly we get hit back. Okay, so these are Hambone's 2 fighters at 6s. A 12 and a 6, so we have to take an aircraft, so we're going to lose 1 of our tactical bombers. Okay, then he's got his militia to 2. 5 misses, and then his mountain infantry defending in mountains, I believe, is a 5. 12 misses, so luckily nothing. So we take Sardinia, we lost just a tactical. So let's take off those units. So Sardinia's worth $1. So let's go ahead real quick. So Italy down $1 to 21, and the U.S. up 1 from 62 to 63. Okay. So I'll put this fleet marker over here in M2. So on Sardinia, we dropped off 6 infantry and 2 artillery. Okay. The 2 coastal subs stayed behind here in A35. And I think... Okay, so that's that. I just saw a message come across my phone, so that might have been Hambone. So hopefully I got his choice correct, so I don't have to screw around with PB and anything. Okay, so how about for non-combat? So the tactical, the surviving tactical went 3 onto Sardinia. It's going to go 4 and land back on the carrier. The heavy strat bomber from Portugal went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's going to land in northern Algeria. The 2 jets went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to land in northern Algeria. Let's see what else. Over here, we've got a heavy strat bomber in London. It's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's going to land in northern Algeria. Over here on the East Coast, we have a medium bomber leaving New York. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to land on Portugal. Over here, we're going to do our strategic naval move. One of these naval transports is going to come out of port in D.C. with an infantry and a medium armor. It's going to leave the medium port in D.C. and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to M2, go in port there in M2, and drop an infantry and a medium armor in northern Algeria. The 2 destroyers and the remaining naval transport off of DC. It's going to pick up the infantry and medium armor, and they're going to go 1, 2, 3 to A35, go into port there in Portugal, and drop the medium armor and the infantry off on Portugal. And that is it on this side of the world. How about over here? Not a whole heck of a lot. We've got our 2 battleships and our naval transport leaving port in San Francisco. 1, 2, 3. And they'll go in port and join the fleet here off of Midway. And that's it. Nothing else to move. Okay, so how about unit placement? So we've got our 3 heavy battleships we're starting construction on. So put those over here at stage 3. Really sucks that I missed those 2 techs that I wanted the most, but what are you going to do? Okay, we've got a jet that we're placing in our minor factory here in Portugal. We've got our Lend-Leased British fighter. So that can leave New York and go 1, 2, 3, 4, I believe, into southern England. Okay, and then we've got our 6 destroyers, and they're going to all go down off of San Francisco. Okay. I might as well go in port. Not that Pete has anything to reach, but why not? So those 6 destroyers are there off of San Francisco. Okay, so that's it. How about income? We're at 63. We have 12 worth of bonuses, so that's 75. And we spent everything. Okay, so 75 bucks is what we'll have next turn. Let's do a unit recap. In the Pacific, we've got 2 coastal subs in P16, and they should have done $4 of damage to the Japanese. Off of San Francisco in port, we have 6 destroyers, and the only other thing that changed is Midway. The fleet now consists of 8 battleships, 4 naval transports, 2 heavy cruisers, 1 light cruiser, 4 destroyers, 1 fleet carrier with 2 fighters. The build queue has 3 heavy battleships and a fleet carrier at stage 3. In C-Zone, M2 in port in northern Algeria is a naval transport. In M2, we have a fleet carrier with a tactical bomber, a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, 2 destroyers, 4 naval transports. On Sardinia is 6 infantry and 2 artillery. In northern Algeria, the American units consist of 2 heavy strat bombers, 2 jets, 1 medium armor, 1 infantry. In C-Zone, A35 are 2 coastal subs. In port there in Portugal is a naval transport and 2 destroyers. On Portugal itself is a militia, an infantry, a medium armor, a medium bomber, and 4 artillery. So that should be it for the U.S. KMT. Turning things over now to Hambone and the Germans.